usually in association management, each entity has a hook. This is what draws them in. And maybe it's, certification, and this is where you have to get your certification. So because you get your certification there, it's likely you'll get your education there or whatnot. Or as you mentioned, it might be the big trade show. You're the gorilla on the block relative to this industry or to the profession you're in. And it's tough when the AMA, you look at that and they bust it up, and all the different subspecialties within medicine came out of the AMA, and now here you are, and even with your own specialty, there's subspecialties. So what is the hook? What's the hook? You've talked about the competition, but now what's the hook that keeps them with you?
Well, I think for us, when we interview our members, they just think it's a rite of passage. Once they pass residency and the fellowship, they become a practicing orthopedic surgeon, and they just join. That's been historically what the issue is now. There's always competition for their attention and time, and we're always worried about that. But fortunately, it seems to be carrying through, although we're concerned, like everyone else, about what the millennials are going to do. But we've been lucky in that they just feel they write that check because they just feel they have to be a member of the Academy.
Anybody else?
I would say on our part with our annual meeting and Food Expo, we have a tremendous amount of education going on. So I think that keeps us and separates us different for the more for-profit companies that run the shows. So we have a lot of activity going on the education side. And from our member surveys, it's all about networking as well. And those other organizations just can't do that as well as we can.
Right.
For us, we do education, but most of our, and we do have like 50 educational sessions during our show, but most of our members, because are the attendees, as I said, with 110,000, they don't go to the education. So what we try to do is make sure we're putting on the top product. We invest a lot of time in our show people to go to different conferences themselves and education to find out what other groups, big shows are doing, to make sure, and we listen to the buyers and what they want from the show. So we do a lot of research to make sure that both the exhibitors and the buyers are getting what they need from this show, so they're not going to other shows.
What have you identified as your key metrics? What are your KPIs?
Well, basically, I think that having a new CEO now for almost a year and a half, when she came in, all our goals were based around KPIs. So we organically started to put more of those into our individual goals, and it just kind of sprouted out that it just kind of spread that, with the SMART goals, you couldn't just say we're going to do a better job of.
Right. We're
going to get this % increase by, or this many attendees, or we're scoring on a continuing education program is going to go from a 4 for a 4.2. So there's all kinds of different metrics we're using, whether it's member attendees, non-member attendees, student attendees. So really just about anything you can think of across the area, from advertising to publication to trying to get our word out on hits throughout from our communications team. So really, there's no KPI that's not on the table now.
Sure.
It just really bubbled up until it's almost overtaken the finance part.